Good morning, everyone. Man, it's cold outside today. Had an awesome Thanksgiving meal yesterday. I hope you did too. And I hope you have lots of leftovers coming your way. The one thing that kind of baffles me a little bit is, how did I eat that much yesterday? And now I'm paying the price just a little bit, but hey, the indigestion wasn't that bad, so I'm digging into some more stuffing and gravy and turkey today. But also, we're going to dig into our gospel lesson for this coming Sunday, which is from the 21st chapter of Luke. It's Luke's little apocalyptic version of what we saw in Mark earlier this year. And it follows pretty much the same lines that Mark did. In fact, most of Luke's gospel follows right along with Mark, but he adds a lot of other interesting material. One of the things we have today is a parable of the fig tree. Yeah, now Jesus has been going on about all these different signs. Luke is a gospel of paradox because, well, let's back up just for a minute. This is something that kind of was kind of interesting that I saw going on with our readings through the Advent season. We're starting Advent this Sunday, and you would think that we would build up to the birth of Jesus, but instead we're starting from the end of the story and moving back to the beginning. These are basically the last words that we have from Jesus, that we have in Luke, the 21st chapter. He's talking about the end of the world. And then we move next week into John the Baptizer. Then we move into Mary and Elizabeth and all that kind of stuff. And then the birth. So we're kind of moving backwards. Isn't that kind of interesting that it works that way? But it's also helpful because we know the end of the story. We do. We know the end of the story. But getting back to this, our lesson for this Sunday. Now, it's like I said, it's part of the greater apocalyptic material that's in the 21st chapter. But Jesus is saying, at the sign of the end is lots of bad stuff's going to be happening all around you. And what is that bad stuff? Well, he's basically pulling up Daniel and Isaiah and Ezekiel and a couple of those Old Testament prophets, and he's quoting from them. So in a sense, what they said still goes. There's going to be rough times. There's going to be terrible times. It's not going to be easy. But he says, when that happens, look up, because your redemption draws near. So in other words, get tough. Be ready. And when things do get tough, be tougher yet. Be alert. Be watching. And he talks about the sign of the time. He said the fig tree. When the fig tree starts putting out its buds and it starts greening up a little bit, then you know that summer is near. Likewise, when you see things like this happening around you, know that the coming of the kingdom is right here. I'd like to show you a little something that goes on in our backyard. We have a mulberry tree here, and it has the greenest of leaves. Oh, they're just awesome. I'm going to show you one of these leaves right. Look how green those are. And here's the deal. They're all over the place. Look at that. They're all over the ground. Yeah. The interesting thing is they stay green and they get super green right at the end, where everything else is changing to all their other different colors, but not this tree. And then all of a sudden, with a hard frost, they all fall to the ground. And that's what's happened. I mean, this is a couple inches deep in mulberry leaves. To me, it's a sign that the snow is going to be falling real soon. So I better be ready. What Jesus is telling us in our gospel lesson is just be ready. Be ready and be looking for signs of the kingdom. The signs of the kingdom are everywhere, and they're always with us. The kingdom of God is among you. The kingdom of God is within you. It's here now. What are we doing to proclaim that kingdom? What are we doing to help usher it in its fullness as we approach the celebration of that new thing that happened in that birth in Bethlehem. Remember what the shepherds were told? This will be a sign for you. You'll find a baby wrapped in swaddling clothes and lying in a manger. Lying in a manger? Yeah, lying in a feeding trough. That'll be the sign to you. Jesus is saying, this will be a sign for you. The fig tree gets its green buds. My mulberry tree gets its green leaves that suddenly fall off with a frost. Be ready. The kingdom is here right now. God's blessings be with you this day.